A sequel to developer Tikipod Ltd's Aqua Kitty, this game follows a group of kitty cats into outer space. They're looking for milk after running out of it back home, and for some reason, there is milk to be found on asteroids. These are badass cats because cow milk gives cats a terrible bout of indigestion, but they don't care. It's delicious and they needs it. Well, I assume that, at least, as the story is a bit bare bones and simply there to serve as a vehicle for some surprisingly difficult, deep, and fun bullet hell madness. This is our review of Astro Aqua Kitty, which releases Friday, June 4th on Xbox. Your first decision will come down to your two-member crew, as each offers up a nicely varied amount of weaponry and ship options that greatly affect each run through the game's 8 levels. I beat the game in roughly 6 hours according to the in-game time, though my Xbox displayed a time that shows closer to 10. This variety adds a large amount of replayability to this budget title. It is $15 US at the time of the release, as with solid sprite-based graphics, perfect controls, excellent music, and a wide build variety, they are matched by a solid difficulty curve and a satisfying leveling system. Let's take a look at the graphics first. Cats are adorable, and this game leans into it hard with its character designs. During cutscenes, a static drawing will show up on each side of the screen, and the writing never wore out its welcome for me. It's a bit purposely cringe at times, and occasionally funny. I found myself reading it all and rarely ever skipping through it the first time through. I did die quite often in some of the later areas of the game, and thankfully the load times are instant on the Xbox Series consoles. This is a modern sprite-based title, and it takes full advantage of how unbelievably fast the SSD in these new consoles are. Graphics are crisp, clean, and that is key in how chaotic the fights can truly get. The heart of the game is combat, and it's a formidable system that will have you crying out, "You gotta be kidding me," time and time again on the higher difficulties. You have 2 attacks and 4 equipment slots. As you level, you will unlock multiple passive and active abilities as well, which are mapped to the X, Y, and right bumper buttons. Left trigger brings you to the map, skills, and inventory screens, and the right trigger is used to activate switches and save points in the world. Save points are key, as there are no checkpoints during the increasingly long and difficult levels. Every time you use one, you'll heal to full and get all your cooldowns and energy back. The energy system is tied to your weaponry, so you'll want to keep one weapon that uses a very small amount of energy per shot paired with one that does more damage but burns through energy quickly. There are a wide array of weapons, skills, and equipment that are tied to the various crew members, and experimenting with them is something I look forward to doing for a long time after seeing the game's credits. Enemy variety is solid. There's a large amount of strange creatures who either swim freely or are tied to the surface of the game's various biomes. Enemies fire a variety of different shaped projectile and laser beams at your tiny sub, and thanks to possum handling, things rarely felt cheap. There is a strict leveling system, and as you gain said levels for your submarine, you will need to constantly upgrade your gear with the game's currency, known as gems, or by finding them through killing enemies. When my sub was level 15, but my main gun was 11, it felt like a pea shooter until I was able to find something I liked that matched my level. Death is never a catastrophe, though, as you will instantly load back to your last save to get right back into the action. There were times where I hadn't saved for 10 minutes and then died in a few hits, which weren't that enjoyable, but that was rare as save points are provided often. Composers Mark Day and Cody Carpenter have put together a fantastic soundtrack. Each level has its own song, and they're all bangers. From the first level's Caribbean-inspired rhythm to the pulse-pounding later levels, there's not one bad song on the entire docket. In comparison, sound effects are rather basic, but they get the job done without ever being distracting. One issue I've had, and we have reached out to the developers, is that whenever I defeated a boss on my Series X, the game would stutter anywhere between 5 to 30 seconds. This occurred both while recording the gameplay for this review and when I wasn't recording. Hopefully this will be rectified by or shortly after release if it is indeed something widespread. Another small issue was in a later level that had a mechanic that wasn't clearly explained. I ended up wasting over an hour searching around for what to do when invariably the answer had been in front of me the whole time. In conclusion, this is an excellent video game, and it's only 15 bucks. I've had a blast with my time so far thanks to its tight controls and great difficulty curve. If you like 2D bullet hell shooters with an absolutely ridiculous premise, tons of charm, clean graphics, and phenomenal music, then this game should be right up your alley. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you do subscribe, please tick that little bell so you can know whenever we post. And we will see you here next time on XboxEra.